Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, the 27th day of February 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy on this Friday, and that your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders who every day are doing their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep streets, cities, towns clean. Those also that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The ones helping those that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, profiteers, and those perverts that create the demands that cause these industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Tonight, there's going to be a basketball game, and the basketball game is going to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, between the New York Knicks and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, this is the stage where we're at in the NBA season, and this is the thing. As I mentioned yesterday and several times, of course, many people cannot understand the NBA season. They're too focused on hating the Knicks. They're too focused on being overly analytical and overly critical of the Knicks to understand some things are just part of the NBA season. Case in point, the Knicks have played 59 games. They're 37-22. That's a very good record right now. They are, at this point, third in the East, a game and a half behind Boston. We'd like to get second in the East. But the truth is, for every NBA team, especially more so for the teams that are playoff teams, that is the top 16, well, really, it's the top 12 because 7 and 8 are determined in a play-in. Okay, 7 and 8 is determined in a play-in, and then 8 is determined in a further play-in. So really, the top 6 and 8, really, you really want the positioning as best as possible. So what this means is that to all of those teams, so in the East, you're talking about Detroit, Boston, New York, Cleveland, Toronto, Philly, Orlando, Miami. Those are the top 8 in the East. In the West, you're talking about Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Houston, Denver, Minnesota, Los Angeles. You're talking about Phoenix, who's a game from Los Angeles, Golden State. Those are the top 8 in the West. For these 16 teams, every single game is important now. Not that the previous 59 were not important, but the previous 59 are the setup for these last ones. It's the previous 59 where teams determine how they're going to play, what works, what doesn't work, who fits, who doesn't fit. And then after that, by the time you get to the trade deadline, teams make final moves to solidify their teams to get ready for the playoffs. Now, the teams at the bottom of those 8, the 7 and 8 teams, they're trying to secure a play-in or try to get into the top 6. The top 6 are trying to secure their best position. In the Knicks case, right now, if the playoff were to start today, the Knicks would be playing a 7-game series with home court advantage against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Boston Celtics will be playing a 7-game series with home court advantage against the Orlando Magic. The Detroit Pistons will play a 7-game series with home court advantage against the Miami Heat. And of course, you have the 4 and 5 game, which is Cleveland would host Toronto. Now, it may end up like that, and it may not. Right now, the Knicks are trying to get the 2nd seed, and why? Because it's the better seeding. They get home court all the way if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, then they play Detroit, who would have home court. And they don't play Detroit in that scenario until the Eastern Conference Finals. So the Knicks would love to get the 2nd seed. But at this point, each team, and let's talk about the Knicks, because this is a Knicks channel. This is about the Knicks, and this is on for the Knicks, not against the Knicks. Not trying to be analytical and negative. But anyway, this is about the Knicks. And so in terms of the New York Knicks, they got to just win every game. Period. You cannot control what Detroit's going to do or what Boston's going to do. You cannot control what any team is going to do in these last 23 games. All you can do is go out the best you can and win every game. Okay? So this is why I had a concern earlier this week about Mike Brown, because Mike Brown is still experimenting with his rotations. And this is not the time. This is the time for decision making. Some of you have wrote in and said, I wish they'd give Kolek a chance. This ain't the time. If he wasn't that guy that you have in your top 10 prior to the break, he ain't going to be that guy unless somebody gets hurt, which you do not want at this stage. At this stage, you're trying to heal, which in the Knicks case means one, Deuce McBride. You're trying to get him back and keep everybody else. One of the secrets to winning the chip is health. Teams that get hurt, look at Halliburton in Indiana, look at Boston and Tatum. Teams where their dudes get hurt down the stretch, and look at the Knicks in the past when both Juju at times, Mitch Rob at times, and of course Brunson were hurt in going in March and April. You do not want that. You want health. So what you're trying to do is preserve health as much as possible. Put your team in a position. Now, speak what you want about Tom Thibodeau, but he would use the season as training. And you say he's overplaying his guys, but guess what? When it came time for April, them brothers was ready to ball. Okay? So he was using the season to get them prepared, get their wind up, get their toughness ready for the playoffs. That's just him. Brown, well, we can see he's trying to experiment who his 9.5 or 10.5 is going to be. And it appears that he still doesn't know. The good thing is that what we do know right now about Mike Brown is who his top 8 is. Now, that is what it is. The top 8 is the top 8. Brunson, Hart, Bridges, Anunoby, Towns, followed by Shamet, Alvarado, Mitchell Robinson. That's his top 8. And when Deuce come back, he's automatically top 9 now, right? Deuce will move ahead of both Alvarado and Shamet, and he will become with Shamet that second wave of guards that come back on the court. Then come Alvarado. So you're going to have that. What we want, though, is that 10th and 11th guy, which is still being figured out. It's a little bit risky because those guys all 10 guys become critical. Playoff run. The NBA, it used to be, when you got to playoffs, you only were really dealing with 8 guys. Every team was doing that. You only really deal with 8 guys. See, that's why people were tripping about Tiz, but he took every game, the whole 82, like it was a playoff game. And he would play 8 guys, sometimes 9. But now the trend is, after Oklahoma City won the chip, okay, after Indiana gets to the finals, okay, you see the trend now, and NBA is a copycat league. You see, when old Golden State was winning all them chips, throwing up 3-pointers, all of a sudden everybody was after trying to get 3-point shooters and spot up shooters. Right. So now the trend is playing 10. Okay, that's the trend now. So you want to go 10. You're not trying to go 11. You want to go 10. So now teams use 11. And then when it comes to playoff time, they shorten that to 9, 10, 9 and 10. Okay. The Knicks now have 9. I mentioned starting 5, Jose Alvarado with Shamet, Mitchell Robinson. Now that's 8. Then you got Deuce. There's your 9. But do you want 10? You need to make a decision between Jeremy Sohan and Diawara. What's not going to happen is you're not going to see Jordan Clarkson, except situationally. You're not going to see Kolek, except situationally. You're not going to see Hoop Porty, except situationally. And with Hoop Porty, we know if Mitch Rob is not going to play because it's back-to-back, you'll probably see some Hoop Porty. But the rest of these guys, you're not going to see. DNP, CDs, the rest of the way, unless somebody gets hurt, God forbid. So that's the way it's working now. So every game is critical. Every game is critical, okay? So, but you got to stay focused on the task at hand, and once the game is over, you must focus on the next game. This is how the Knicks got to go. See, fans get tripped out over each game, of course, and you got a whole bunch of people that wait for a loss to come out of their ass and show all kind of crap, right? But those of us that are the real ones stay focused on the cast their hand. Okay, they lost that game against Cleveland. What do we need to do next? Get back to game plan. Get back to game plan. Don't leave game plan. You can't have Cat shooting 5 shots. I'm sorry. You can't. And that's a function of the head of the snake, Jalen Brunson. He's got to wake up. Okay? I'm hoping somebody's talking to him. I know a lot of people want to blame his father because that's what they do, place blame. But let's just hope they all collaborate, because that's why they hired Brown, to collaborate and understand what they need to do. Give Cat the damn ball. So tonight, they're playing Milwaukee. We want Cat to get the damn ball. We don't want Brunson taking all the shots. We want Cat to get the damn ball. Okay? Letting them go through him. And live with the consequences. Let Brunson play off ball. Let Roadrunner do his thing. Let everybody else do their thing. Josh Hart has been playing like crap for the last few games. I expect Josh Hart to break out of that. And what I'm looking for from Josh Hart is a good intellectual, a good IQ game. No stupid passes. No stupid missed assignments on defense. And Charlie Hustle, as always. That's what you're looking for from Josh Hart. Charlie Hustle. That means big time rebounding. That means running the ball on your own break, which he does. And hopefully, hitting his open threes, because he's going to get that. Okay? So we'll see, but that's what we're looking for. We need offensive and defensive rebounding. We need the guy on the weak side of the floor to make sure he's close enough to that weak side shooter so that you can get to him and close it out before he has a wide open three. We need to keep them out our paint. Now, the thing about the Bucks is that they got a very promising young backcourt. This year, the Milwaukee Bucks have found a revelation in their point guard. Let me just get his name up here. They found a revelation in Ryan Rollins. Now, Kevin Porter Jr. was the starting point guard. He got hurt, and they went to Rollins, and they were rolling with Rollins. So they continue to roll with Rollins. So Rollins is good. He can hit an open jump shot. He can play tough defense, a lot like Nembhard over there in Indiana. Rollins is a lot like him. And so very disciplined player, tough guy, can hit a jump shot. Kevin Porter Jr. is just straight out ball. He, from the time he came in the league, his issues off the court. On the court, he could roll out of bed and kill you. He's one of them guys that's born to be an NBA player. Okay, so he's talented. The thing is, there's a lot of talented guys in the league. 400 best players in the world. The difference, there's some that are more talented, and then there's some that take the talent they have been given to play in the league and work so hard to get otherworldly levels, like your Jordans and your Kobe's and your Brunsons. They work their tail off to get the most out of what they are being God-given and then go further. Now, that's the question with Kevin Porter Jr. He has the talent. Will he work hard enough to take his game to the next level, which is the next logical level a guy that talented should take? Then there's A.J. Green, who's also a shooter. They got some shooters out there now. Giannis is out today, but Miles Turner, don't sleep on him. And our boy, Jericho Sims, has been scoring more of late. He's coming out of his shell. Then you got Kyle Kuzma, and then, of course, they got another scorer in Cam Thomas. That's all scorer, no defense. A lot of y'all been tripping about him since he was at LSU, and I was telling you from then till now, all scorer, no defense, no bueno. So, but he can kill you if you're not watching. So what am I saying? The weak side guy, Mr. Jalen Brunson, Mr. Josh Hart, the weak side guy has got to make sure that he doesn't get sucked down into the paint so that he lose sight of Cam Thomas, Kyle Kuzma, A.J. Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Ryan Rollins. He's got to make sure he can get to that shooter. And what do you want? You want to close out the shooter. What does that mean, close out? That means you get close to him so fast and so tight that he doesn't have a comfortable shot. Most guys will pass the ball. But you got to do that several times in a defensive possession, Mr. Brunson. You can't just do it once. You need to do it 2 or 3 times in each possession. This is where we're failing. the second and third effort. So the guys are a little tired, but this is critical, and this is why you might see 10. Because you need to have all the energy you can. And that's why you have a DOR and a Sohan at the end of your bench. Mr. Brown must use them for this purpose. Okay? So keep the opponent out your paint. Guard that weak side three-point shooter. Guard the passing lanes. Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart are really good at that. Guard the passing lanes. And, of course, there's our boy OG, grown-ass man. And so we got to have all them. Then there's Mitch Rob, who had a tremendous game. It was a wasted effort against Cleveland, but it's okay. 16 boards, 8 on the offensive end. I expect that to continue. And Mitch Rob has been putting the ball on the floor a little bit, if you notice. Yeah. So we keep doing that. Then, of course, as I mentioned at the top of this broadcast, there's Cat. Give him the damn ball, get out the way, and let him find you if you cut. If not, he can take whoever's guarding him, Miles Turner, Jericho, whoever it is, Kyle Kuzma. They can't guard him. Okay? That's the thing. When you walk into an NBA game and you know that there's nobody on the floor that could guard one of your guys. Okay? Yes, you want the ball to move, but you want that guy to have the ball. Especially if they can't guard him in the flow. What do I mean? The ball's moving. All of a sudden, Cat gets the ball. All of a sudden, Cat raises that ball up. He's looking for cutters. All of a sudden now, he can do the three. He can take you to the hole, shoot mid-range, whatever you need. He could do it. Okay? So you want that option. See? That's what it was like to play the Miami Heat, who LeBron labeled the Heatles. They were in their prime. Nobody could guard Wade. Nobody can guard LeBron. And so they were and they all was focused on defense. And, of course, we know what happened. See, when you got a guy like that, a Giannis in his prime, unstoppable force, you want to make sure you set him up, because setting him up sets your team up to win. And that's the object. We don't care about stats. What do we want? There's one stat we want: dubs. In this stage of the year, we want as many of them as we could get. So tonight, what do we want? If I serve, a dub in the Bucks land. We got a tough one coming up against a red-hot Spurs team on Sunday. But that's Sunday. Right now, we need to get this dub in Milwaukee. So come correct, y'all. Play the game. And this ain't, you don't care who the opponent is really. Because again, 23 games left. You trying to win. All right? Let's enjoy this. I'll watch it tomorrow. Where are they playing at? Who's hosting this game? Is it ABC? Is it it's not a national televised thing. I don't think it is. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. Let's see. But it's not that. It's League Pass. So I will have it recorded, and I will see it by the grace of the Most High tomorrow. And then I'll be able to talk about it on Sunday. Now, Sunday's a 1 o'clock game, so we're going to have our pod earlier, like 11:30, something like that on Sunday, to get ready for that 1 o'clock game on ABC. Now, the game ain't going to start till 1:20, right? But we'll be ready. Okay, so let's enjoy this game tonight. Enjoy your weekend. Above all, be safe. It's a dangerous world that we live in. It's getting dangerous, more dangerous every day. Be safe. Enjoy yourself. And we'll talk soon. So